and welcome to Dave Berkshire Motorcycles in sunny Norfolk. Well, I'm here to take my motorcycle test and show you exactly what you need to do to get out on the road on a KTM. There are several different ways of getting your bike licence depending upon your age and experience. It can be confusing, but here are the options. If you're 16 or over, you can apply for your AM licence, allowing you to ride any bike up to 50cc. When you're 17, you can go for your A1 licence on a bike up to 125cc, like the ever popular KTM 125 or the exciting RC 125. An A2 licence is for those over 19 on a bike between 27 and 47 brake horsepower, like a KTM 390 Duke or an RC 390. A dealer can also add an electronic restriction to the KTM 690 range or the 790 Adventures to make them A2 compliant. There's also a KTM 790 Duke L that has slightly less power as standard, so that it can be made into an A2 machine. For the A2 test itself, you need to take this on a bike over 395cc, but you can practice on a KTM 390 Duke or an RC 390. Finally, the A licence allows you to ride any bike regardless of size, but you need to do your test on a bike which is at least 595cc, delivering at least 54 brake horsepower and is over 180 kilos. You can take this test at 21 if you pass your A2 test at 19. Otherwise, you need to wait till you're at least 24. If you're like me and over 24, you can apply for your A test, and once you've passed that, you can ride anything in KTM's fast range. Later, I'm going to be joined by Tom Booth Amos from the SIP Green Power KTM team, who's currently competing in Moto 3. Tom's 23, so he's going to be going for his A2 licence. To find out what licence you'll need to apply for, head to the KTM website where we've got all the details. First things first, all riders have to take Compulsory Basic Training, or CBT. This is for anybody who wants to take their KTM on the road. For this, you need to be 16 or over, regardless of whether you've shared the paddock with the likes of Pol Espargaro or Johan Zarco. Here at Dave Berkshire Motorcycle Training, a CBT will cost £110 and includes all riding equipment and bike hire. Your CBT is usually done on a 125. Now KTM have two options here, the KTM 125 Duke and the RC 125. Both are single cylinder and produce 14 brake horsepower. Now the Duke weighs 137 kilograms, whereas the RC weighs 135. Now the RC will be perfect for the likes of Tom with its race-inspired style, whereas the Duke shares the looks of its bigger brothers in the KTM range. So now you've got your CBT under your belt. If you haven't done so already, you'll need to apply for your bike theory test, and you can do this on the gov.uk site. This will cost around £23. That's if you pass first time, hey Tom?
Yep.
Well, regardless of the level of test you're going to be taking, whether it be your A1, your A2 or your A, it'll be split into two modules, Module 1 and Module 2. Module 1 will be completed within a test centre, whereas Module 2, for us, will take us into the wild wilderness of Norfolk.
I'm doing my A2 test, so I'll need to do this on a bike with at least 395cc and produces 35 to 47 brake horsepower with a power to weight ratio of no more than 0.2 kilowatts per kilogram.
That means that although Tom's been practicing on a KTM 390 Duke, he can only do his A2 test on a KTM 690 Duke, a 690 SMCR, a 690 Enduro R, the 790 Adventures, or the 790 Duke L, all of which have been restricted. I'll be taking my A test on a KTM 790 Duke. Module 1 will cost on average around £165, and for Module 2, again on average, will cost around £195.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm the instructor here at Dave Berkshire Motorcycle Training. CBT is 5 elements. Element A is a little chat about motorcycle clothing. Element B, where we go out and get introduced to the bikes, the controls, we do a little bit on basic maintenance. Element C is where you start riding the bike, so pulling away, stopping. We do a few other exercises, slow speed control, emergency stops, normal stops, left and right turns and observational exercises. Element D is back in the office where we do a little chat about what's going to happen out on the road. And then element E, the last part of the day, is a 2-hour road ride out on the road. The Module 1 test is conducted on a training area where you do a manual handling exercise, a slow speed control such as a slalom figure of 8, a slow speed ride, a U-turn, then you do the faster 3 exercises which is a controlled stop, an emergency stop, and then you do the avoidance exercise. The whole test takes about 15 minutes. The Mod 2 is a 40-minute road ride out on the road taking in various road and traffic conditions, followed by an examiner who is your expensive sat-nav for the afternoon.
We've both just completed our A test and A2 test thanks to Dave Berkshire Motorcycle Training, which now, Tom, that means you can head off to your next Moto 3 race on the road. If you want to hone any of your riding skills, KTM has several partners which offer a wide range of off-road riding experiences for you to try.
Just head to www.ktm.com/gb for our full list of experienced partners and for full details of how to pass your bike test.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe and leave us a message in the box below. And most importantly, enjoy your KTM on the road.